went well. Sorry, guys. So 5 weeks and 6 days. Yesterday was absolutely dire. I don't know where it come from. I don't know. I mean, I still feel the same about myself. Even just grabbing hold of my stomach, I feel gross, absolutely gross. Probably one of the biggest that I've felt in a long time. In my adult life, should I say, because obviously most of my adult life I have been fairly small. And I'm on the larger side of large size 10 at the moment, which for me, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Yesterday I hit rock bottom, and I think if you're going to get that bad, that emotionally stressed, then you should do what you feel is best for you. I'm not talking about me cutting my calories or anything silly. You know, I've become accustomed to eating this sort of amount of food and actually still find myself not overly full, and I'm eating good food. So, you know, this journey is definitely telling me that how the hell I was eating what I was eating before I did this, I will never ever know, because I was training a few hours a day. I cannot deny I did go for a run this morning. I did a slow paced. I never track the times, but for me, I really consciously try to slow myself down, really kind of keep it at a good steady pace and not get myself too fucked, basically. I only did 5 miles as well, which for me is very tame. And I felt good. I come back and I was like, yes. You know, I could feel as I was running the belly and the hips, not so much the arms, but the belly and the hips, you know, uncomfortably jiggling, you know, in them areas that running just does something for my body. I think it keeps me lean in areas that I like it to keep me lean. And when I'm not running, things get out of control. Like my legs get bigger, my butt gets bigger, which is not such a bad thing. My muffin tops start to come out, not in a gross way, but in a feminine way. Running for me almost gives you that Mo Farah look, which I'm not striving towards, but as females, and for me being in a situation where I do have body dysmorphia, I don't like what I see, I do hate on my body, I'm nowhere near beginning to love myself. This journey is proving even more difficult. I'm not ready to get rid of everything. You know, I've done 1 gym session this week and 1 run. The rest of it, I've taken walks and yoga. I won't be doing any more. You know, I've got yoga for the next 3 days, and then it will be the start of another new week. You know, and at the moment, I'm quite comfortable to feel that I will keep up the 1 run a week until my period comes back, if it comes back. You know, like I say, I'd made food changes already. I wasn't as, I was restricting my food and restricting my calories, but I was eating a good 2,000, which is still under what I needed, a lot under what I needed, but not as severely restricting as what I used to. So, you know, who knows, but taken Clomid this round to see if I can jumpstart my period. Definitely had twinges down there and some real bad pains. Last night I had a few hot flashes, and I know this might sound a bit but almost felt like I'd wet myself at one point last night, which wasn't. It was just, you know, cervical mucus. I even got my husband to see how far up my cervix was, and he helped me with that. By the way, if you want to check where your cervix is, try to do it without any sexual intercourse, because that can change the position of it apparently, but we did it without any of that, and he couldn't feel it. He said, it is so far up, I can't feel it. And he said, I felt it many a times in the past. He said, it feels like a little round donut thing. He said, normally a little bit harder, and it's normally a lot lower than what it is at the moment. So my little flashy ovulation predictor kit test, which is still on this must be the 6th or 7th day now. giving me a flashy peak, flashy high fertility is flash, solid smiley face is a peak. So I haven't had any peak yet. But reading up online, I mean, some women have not had a peak and yet they have still ovulated because they've fallen pregnant within that cycle. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe I'll be one of those people that never sees the peak but has ovulated, because like I say, there was definitely something going on downstairs in the cramping area. Cramps that I've never felt like it before. It very oddly become more apparent when I need the toilet. So if my bladder was full, I would really, really feel them. And this is going to sound really funny, but if I got the urge, like that build up in your tummy where you need to fart, that's again where I would feel it, almost like through that end, that tunnel. Very weird, not had that ever before, and never really noted any ovulation pains. I had an ovulation pain when I had Layla and when I had JJ, and it was located to one side. So I'm not too sure what these kinds of pains are. All I know is I stopped Clomid Saturday. It is now Thursday, so that is what? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's 5 days after I've stopped the Clomid. I've had 6, because I tested just before I finished the Clomid. I got a bit impatient. So I've had 6 high fertility, flashy, smiley faces on the clear blue dual, ovulation predictor kit thing. And I've been testing first urine in the morning, not had the peak, as I say, might not get the peak. So this is my 6th high. I'm just going to keep continuously testing until I get the peak or I get a period. I don't feel guilty over my run. I don't feel like I've set myself back. I got up, I had a banana. As soon as I got back from the run, didn't hesitate, ran straight to the cupboard. Obviously went to the toilet and stuff first, but went straight to the cupboard and got my porridge, got my protein stuff. Straight away had that, which is unheard of for me. Even when I was training properly and eating better, I would still wait hours before I'd eat. I don't know, it's just I'm never hungry. And of course, the longer you leave it, the longer in the day it is, the less calories that I'll attempt to consume. Because as it is today, had my porridge that was at 7 o'clock, because I'd already done my run. So by 10:30, I'm peckish. So then I had a slice of toast with a bit of jam on it. So then by 12 o'clock, I've already walked Marley in the woods on my lunch break as well, which took me an hour. I got back and I was famished. Like, I'm hungry. So I've had poached salmon, new potatoes, and a bag of steamed vegetables for lunch. And that didn't quite satisfy me. Admittedly, I could eat again. So I'd say the hunger cues are definitely coming back in full force, which is a good thing. It means the body is responding. And the type of mucus that I've had now, as in I'm going to wet myself or I feel like I've wet myself, I've not had that in a very long time. Literally, it is slipping. It's like slippery stuff. It's not sticky. Like, I've not got it in between my fingers and I'm doing this with like egg whites. It's not that. But it is certainly, it's like touching an eel. If you've ever touched an eel and it just slips through your hands, it's so slippery, which is fertile mucus. So the little flashy smiley face is not wrong. I'm probably in the high fertility, plus my cervix is way up here. Should have really done temperature, but our thermometer is rubbish, so that's way out the window. I am probably not the best person to be listening to at the moment in my hypothalamic amenorrhea journey, because I've incorporated 1 gym session last week. Now I've done 1 gym and 1 run. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing. It's a huge, and I mean massive, decrease to what I'm used to. I would normally run 8 miles in the morning and go gym for an hour and a half at lunch without going yoga in the evening. You know, sometimes on certain days I was doing 3 or 4 sessions a day and I was eating probably a good 700-800 calories less than what I'm eating now. So I know that I'm fueling what I'm doing, and I know that I'm not pushing myself too much. You know, I'm not too tired. I'm sleeping okay. I am still waking up, needing the toilet in the middle of the night, which is just annoying. Very, very rare do I sleep through the whole night. I have done on a couple of occasions though in the last few weeks, which is again very rare for me. I never normally sleep through the night without getting up at least once or twice. I want to try and make a habit of that if I can. You know, trying to get through the night without waking up is a goal, because it's so friggin' annoying trying to get back to sleep again. For those of you that have quit exercise completely, if you are emotionally stressed, like I was in my video yesterday, I was an absolute wreck. And I think the stress and the worry of me having areas where I'm just not happy, I'm not ready to accept it yet, but I want my period back and I'm impatient. So here's to Clomid. Let's hope it works. Let's hope I ovulate. Soon find out. Okay, guys.
I once felt I'm done with the defense. Drove back and climbed over your fence. Had to show you that I was a man.